Hello, everybody. This is the Pocket Passer. I'm your host, Randy White. I hope all of you are having a fantastic day. I know I am. With Week 7 concluding with last night's game with the Bears Patriots, and the Bears surprisingly dominating the Patriots on all fronts. Patriots limited to just 14 points, Bears scoring 33. I'm here to give you my 5 key takeaways from this past slate of games. Starting off with number 1, I should never talk about the Packers winning football games ever again. For whatever reason, I just can't predict a win right for them. Well, games I have been able to predict right have been loss to the Vikings, and that is about it. So I am done picking the Packers to win games. You will not see me do that until I trust that they've actually righted the ship and they've actually started to turn the tide offensively. Once I see them do that, I'll start picking them in games. But for now, it's a no-go. That's my takeaway. Packers offense is horrible. Receivers not getting open, offensive line not sustaining blocks, and guys running the wrong routes. Rodgers not getting the ball accurately when guys are open. The blame pie, in this case, is being passed around to pretty much everyone involved in the offense. Poor play calling, poor catching, poor route running, just simply, poor knowledge of the playbook. Poor execution on all fronts. The only light spot really consistently has been Aaron Jones, and he fumbled the football against the Buccaneers. So there's not, but other than that, Aaron Jones has been pretty consistently good. So that's really the only bright spot in this offense right now, and Rodgers if receivers start to catch the balls. And number 2, I was very right about the Chiefs and 49ers game. I was very, very right about how that game would go. I said that the minus 1.5 point spread was utter nonsense and the Chiefs were going to kill them. I picked them to win by 11, but I had a feeling it could be worse than that. It certainly was. 44-23, I believe was the final score. It's a 21-point win for the Chiefs. They absolutely dominated that game, mostly off of 2 huge third and long conversions that led to touchdown drives, as well as a Jimmy Garoppolo red zone interception at the end of the half that was entirely pointless and misguided. Just a bad play by him, which kind of leads into the second part of this, which is that McCaffrey won't save the 49ers, and he will not save them from Jimmy G. You can't just trade draft picks for a running back, who, by the way, is injury prone, and say, oh, our offense is saved, and we're gonna do good now. No. Because you need a quarterback that consistently leads scoring drives, and that is something the 49ers don't have. They've always relied on their defense, especially in the postseason, and if their defense can't stop good offenses, they won't make it out of the NFC. It's as simple as that. They need a quarterback that can put points on the board consistently. Jimmy Garoppolo is not that quarterback. He's proved that year in and year out. It's just not the way he functions. He needs the defense to keep the opposing team below about 20-ish points, and then you can rely on Jimmy to get you somewhere between 21 and 24 points a game probably. That's close to about where he's going to get you, and he's not going to really top that except for on rare occasion when you're playing a bad team that the 49ers game plan finds a way to exploit. And that just hasn't been the case so far this year. They're sitting at 3-4 right now, and that has been the case really for the 4 main teams coming out of the NFC, all sitting at 3-4. Buccaneers 3-4, Packers 3-4, 49ers 3-4, and then Rams 3-3. It's been a lot of disappointment out of those top 4 NFC teams, and 49ers are not even close to exempt from that. Christian McCaffrey will not save them from their issues. However, he will benefit their running game. He will absolutely improve the running game. There's no doubt about that, and they might win a couple extra games that they would have otherwise lost with the addition of Christian McCaffrey, but he's not going to allow them to jump deep into the playoffs. That is really the point I'm making, is that he's not going to get them to spring deep into the playoffs. They're not going to win the NFC, nothing crazy like that, unless the entire NFC that is good crumbles, which I guess is possible since we have like 2 reliable teams in the NFC right now. Maybe not any. So we'll see how that goes. Number 3, I nailed the Seahawks score. However, the Chargers offense just could not keep up at all. A garbage time score from Kenneth Walker, and then a garbage time score from Justin Herbert and the Chargers offense that was quickly met with just the Seahawks killing clock and wasting out the rest of the time. Seahawks dominated that win, 37-23. Chargers offense just could not get things rolling, and the Seahawks defense looked solid because of it. Seahawks offense has looked excellent. Geno Smith just continues to impress everybody, including myself, obviously. I've just been beyond impressed with Geno Smith's performance. Kenneth Walker, the rookie running back, so good. So many rookies on that Seahawks roster that have just played excellent. Tariq Woolen has looked tremendous. Very impressed. Potentially the offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year both reside in Seattle. That's a very real possibility if Kenneth Walker keeps doing what he's doing, especially with the very unfortunate injury to Breece Hall over in New York. The defensive rookie of the year competition is also in New York. Obviously, Breece Hall won't be competing for that anymore, but the defensive rookie of the year competitor, Sauce Gardner, Ahmad Gardner, has been exceptional this year. A lot with the most passes defensed. Tariq Woolen for the Seahawks with the tied for the most interceptions so far this year. Both those guys have looked tremendous. The Seahawks drafted incredibly well this year, and I've been nothing short of amazed by how well they've done. The only game between teams with a winning record in Week 8 is the Seahawks Giants game. Packers play the Bills, and that's not it. There's multiple other games between teams that would have expected to have been good games with good winning records. Not the case at all. It's Seahawks Giants, both sitting at winning records. 4-3 Seahawks atop of the NFC West, and 6-1 Giants in second place in the NFC East. So that's your top matchup coming up this week. I'll talk about that game more tomorrow. But very strange things happen in the NFL and in the NFC especially. Seahawks have been very impressive. Number 4, Bears managed to score 30 points before Packers. And I want to crawl into a hole because of it and just never talk about football again. It's been nothing short of painful to watch and talk about the Packers offense, as I just mentioned. But an offense that is supposed to be just as bad and really has been just as bad, actually worse than the Packers, has been the Bears offense. Despite that, they outperformed Green Bay against New England, and they put up 30-plus points before Green Bay did, despite the fact that Green Bay played the very same New England team just a few weeks ago. In fact, it was their last win when they managed to put up 27 points, which is tied for the most points they put up all year. 27-24 was the final score of that game. And that was tied for how many points the Packers put up against the Bears in their 27-10 destruction of the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears got the job done. They looked impressive last night, and they stymied a offense that was led primarily by Bailey Zappi, although Mac Jones did start the game. Mac Jones did not look very good, benched very quickly. Bailey Zappi led back-to-back touchdown drives, including a 4-for-4, 97-yard start for a touchdown in those first 2 drives. And after that, Patriots offense was absolutely silent the rest of the game. The Bears took control, scoring 23 straight after being down 14-10. And it was a very impressive rushing attack from Chicago. They ran the ball very effectively and passed the ball effectively when they needed to. Justin Fields made plays. Equinemius St. Brown, the former Packer, made plays. Cole Kmet made plays. It was just a very well put together game by the entire Bears offense. Good play calls put together. The zero blitz on 4th down, I want to say. Maybe 3rd down. It wasn't 4th. But either way, zero blitz against the Bears. Bears were an empty set, and they get Herbert going the distance on a screen where Fields is able to have to pump fake it because they have pressure off the edge. He can't get the ball into the window, so he has to pump fake, step forward, hold on to the ball a little longer, throw sidearm to get the ball to his man. Gets crushed because of it, but nevertheless, it's a touchdown for the Bears, and a big one that kind of gave Chicago momentum. And that helped them get 30 points. So the takeaway isn't whether Chicago's going to be good. Chicago's still a bad team. It's really just further confounding the Packers, who have been nothing short of incredibly disappointing. My final takeaway, Colts have had no luck without luck. Andrew Luck was their luck, evidently, as since his departure, they've had a different quarterback every year, and now Matt Ryan doesn't even make it through half of the season without being benched for the year for the young Sam Ellinger. Let's see if he can turn things around Frankly, I doubt it with how poorly that offense is set up. It's an offensive line that has performed horribly, a running game that has been very underwhelming, and just a ton of issues in that Indianapolis offense. They just can't seem to put anything together consistently. Outside of Matt Ryan's comeback win versus the Jags, there's been virtually no bright spots there, and I doubt anything really turns it around. They miss Andrew Luck. If Andrew Luck wanted to come out of retirement right now, I'm sure they'd take him. Obviously, that won't happen. But this has just been a team that has continued to spiral. They made the playoffs with Phillip Rivers, and since then, and really before then, in the Andrew Luck-less cycle, it's been just disappointment after disappointment. And the Colts have got to figure something out soon, because Frank Reich's going to lose his job. Chris Ballard's going to lose his job, largely due to the meddling of their owner and the kind of just demanding nature of their owner. He needs to be a little more patient. That seems to be the problem with a lot of teams that struggle, has been impulsiveness at times. If you're too impulsive because, the quarterback didn't work in that play. Don't forget, Carson Wentz threw 27 touchdown passes to 7 picks last year. Everyone wants to talk about the poor performances, and yes, there were poor performances. But at the end of the day, when you look at that, and then when you look at Matt Ryan's already turned the ball over significantly more than Carson Wentz did last year, and it's not even halfway through the year. The move would have been to keep Carson Wentz and give him one more year. Honestly, probably wouldn't have worked out because of how poorly Indianapolis' entire offense is performing. But nevertheless, it would have been better than the situation they're in right now with a struggling Matt Ryan and now a benched Matt Ryan where we have Sam Ehlinger playing. It's just a rough sight. It's a really rough sight to see for the Colts. They cannot seem to turn anything around. It's a team I've kind of liked, so it's unfortunate to see them doing what they're doing. I hope they can turn things around. But right now, just everything is sputtering. Defense is underperforming. Offense is obviously underperforming. And they need to get things straightened out and quick. So quick overview real quick of my 5 takeaways. I'm going to stop predicting Packer games because they just can't seem to get things figured out. 2, McCaffrey will not save the 49ers. 3, Seahawks continue to look good. Chargers have a bunch of problems, both in injuries and execution. They need to get them solved fast, or they're going to find themselves with the Broncos in the bottom tier of the AFC quickly. Bears managed to score 30 points before the Packers offense, just to give you an idea of how abysmal the Packers offense is. And 5, the Colts really, really miss Andrew Luck. I think that's kind of a key takeaway from 3 years ago, but it just continues to hold true every single year except the Phillip Rivers playoff year. They need a strong, good, consistent leader at quarterback. They need him back there, and they need someone who can take the hits, bounce back, and lead comeback wins consistently against good teams and lead their team to success. That's something Andrew Luck was able to do year in and year out, despite the injuries, despite the poor offensive line play, despite the sometimes inconsistent receiver play. He just got the job done. He was an exceptional leader, an exceptional fighter. He was the full package at quarterback, and there were very few people like him in the NFL. A top 10 quarterback pretty much the entire time he was playing, arguably top 5 in moments if he had a better supporting cast around him. It's a shame that his career ended the way it did, and the Colts really miss him because of it, and they miss having a guy like that. They were fortunate to go from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck, but since then, it's just been continuous disaster. So that's all I got for you guys. If you want to check out more of my content, if you want to be informed when I upload more videos, subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified when I post more videos. If you want to check out my content on Instagram and TikTok at The Pocket Pastor, I uploaded a couple TikToks last night reacting to that Bears-Patriots game. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.